Hello guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now today I am talking about the Dragon Ball Super English dub episode 63. Now this is quite an interesting episode. The first half deals with Mai trying to kill Goku Black with the energy bullet full of, kinetic energy, more powerful than a regular human bullet. That fails obviously because this Trunks arc hasn't reached its conclusion yet, and Goku Black is still alive. Then Goku, Vegeta and Bulma go back into the future so they can hopefully kill Goku Black and Zamasu, and the scene that we are talking about today is Vegeta decimating Goku Black in its English dub. So I really want to get right to it. And yeah, you can find Dragon Ball Super the English dub on Adult Swim each week. Brand new episodes come out, and also you can find it on their website at adultswim.com. That is obviously for American viewers only. For international viewers, unfortunately, you do need to wait for the DVD release like I am. I am from Australia, so I need to wait for the DVD release as well. And, well, at least in Australia, at least for me, which is kind of cool actually, that Anime Lab, it supports, the dub and the sub, but the dub follows the DVD release, not the broadcast release that, airs on Toonami each week, which kind of sucks, but it's kind of cool that they have the option. Anyway, that is the distributing details regarding Dragon Ball Super's English dub, so let's just get into Vegeta destroying Goku Black. Now this is obviously in the Vegeta vs Goku Black fight, particularly Goku Black Rose, and Vegeta's first line in the Japanese, he says, "Shall I tell you where you miscalculated?" So basically just declaring to Black like, you fucked up boy. And yeah, so shall I tell you where you miscalculated? In the English dub, he says, "You want to know what your big mistake was, Black?" Now, I don't mind this. This is kind of a minor sort of change. It's not too bad. And, yeah, you want to know what your big mistake was, Black? It's fine. It's a fine dub line. I do like the Japanese version a little bit better. Shall I tell you? Like, it just sounds more cunning and more snide from Vegeta, and the English dub kind of doesn't translate the sort of snide and sarcastic, almost sarcastic presence of the Japanese line. So yeah, the Japanese wins in my opinion. And then Black says in the Japanese, miscalculated. And then in the English he says, what mistake? So that's following, Vegeta's line. Yeah, again, I don't have any, thoughts regarding this. These are pretty standard lines. Where the big changes and diversion comes in is when Vegeta replies to Goku Black, saying miscalculated, what mistake? And in the Japanese, Vegeta says, that body, down to the very corners of its cells, was made by Kakaroto's long, fierce history of combat. And in the English, he says, it's that stolen body, every muscle, every cell, his body was built from a lifetime of intense battles. So, it sounds like in the Japanese, he doesn't even mention that it's a stolen body. He says that body, while in the English dub he says it's that stolen body. Which, again, is fine. I mean, in the English dub he is correct, it is stolen, so yeah, it's a minor dub change. But where it gets interesting is where he says, down to the very corners of its cells. That's in the Japanese, and then in the English he says, every muscle, every cell. So in the Japanese, he doesn't even mention his, muscles, he just mentions his cells. He says, down to the very corners of its cells, and in the English he says, every muscle, every cell, which is fine. It doesn't bother me too much. I mean, it's a little inaccurate since he doesn't say every muscle, every cell, but it's close enough. It's fine, but it's not 100% accurate, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. Every muscle, every cell. In the English, the writers, they added every muscle, every cell. His body was built from a lifetime of intense battles. While in the Japanese, he says, down to the very corners of its cells was made by Kakaroto's long, fierce history of combat. So it's basically the same idea. Goku's body is built from a lifetime of intense battles, and that shaped him to be the character and body that he is. Son Goku in the present day is built, from the lifetime of intense battles. The same sort of idea comes across very well in the English dub when he says his body was built from a lifetime of intense battles. And yeah, in the English dub he doesn't mention Kakarot by name, but in the Japanese he says Kakarot's, or Kakaroto I should say, long fierce history of combat. So yeah, that's cool. And while the every muscle, every cell thing is not entirely accurate, it's kind of a dubism, I guess. It's not a huge deal. So this dub line is absolutely fine. And the way that Chris Sabat, he fucking nails voicing Vegeta in this episode. But anyway, moving on, the Japanese Japanese voice of Vegeta then says, "For you, it's just a borrowed vessel," meaning that Goku Black, Zamasu, he just borrowed Goku's body and it's not truly his. And in the English he says, "But you took it, it's all second-hand." Now I kinda like that. I kinda like the English dub saying, it's all second-hand. You didn't get this body, you didn't earn it, it's all second-hand. Fuck you, Goku Black. I do like this English line a lot. For you, it's just a borrowed vessel. I mean, that's fine, but I do like the English dub line better. It just makes, more sense, fitting with Vegeta's character more, saying, it's all second-hand. It's kind of catering to Vegeta's sort of trash-talky personality. It's all second-hand. You took it, you suck, I am the best. So yeah, I like that. And then in the Japanese he goes, "Only a true numbskull like him can use the Saiyan cells within it to its fullest." So yeah, that's the idea. So basically saying like even an idiot like Kakarot can use these Saiyan cells and then reach maximum potential. And then in the English dub he goes around and says, "You feel the power in those Saiyan cells, but you don't truly understand it because you didn't build it and you'd never learn to think like that clown." So the idea here is kind of changed. So in the Japanese he's specifically talking about Goku. There's no mention of Goku Black using the Saiyan cells, or even feeling it, or even sensing it. But in the English he goes, "You feel the power of those Saiyan cells, but you don't truly understand these. You don't truly understand this power, but Kakarot does." In the Japanese he doesn't even mention Goku Black. He just says only a true numbskull like him can use the Saiyan cells. Again, it's interesting. I like the dub line, especially when he goes, "Because you didn't build it and you'll never learn to think like that clown." I love how the English dub, they throw a dig at Kakarot, kind of like in the Japanese, where he calls him a numbskull, but I just like the word clown better, you clown. It just sounds funnier, and yeah, it adds a bit of lightheartedness to this overall, dramatic, sort of godly scene here. So yeah. Then Black, replies to all of, this Vegeta monologuing with, "Why is there such a difference in strength?" in the Japanese, and in the English he's like, "How can there be such a huge power gap between us?" So again, same basic idea, really. This, English dub doesn't really change much. Why is there such a difference in strength versus how can there be such a huge power gap between us? So yeah, there's not much of a difference, so I'm just going to go over to the next line. And then Vegeta's like, "Would you like to know?" Well, in the English he says, "That's simple." Now I do like the English dub better because he's just like, "Oh, that's simple, I'm just better than you." And in the Japanese it's more like a rhetorical question, like, "Oh, would you like to know?" So they're both very similar ideas, but I do like the English dub, like, "Oh, that's simple, I am better than you." Although I do kind of like the rhetorical question in the Japanese as well. So Black says, "Why is there such a huge difference between us in terms of power and strength?" And Vegeta in the Japanese is like, "Would you like to know? Would you like to know? Let me explain to you." While in the English dub it's more just a direct badass line, kind of like a Duke Nukem line. And then in the Japanese he says, Vegeta continues on to say, "It's because you're a fake, and I am the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta-sama, that's why." Now that, oh my god, that's an awesome line, how he declares himself Vegeta-sama. Now that is pretty badass, I must say. And in the English he goes and says, "You're an interloper, a Saiyan imposter, and I am the real thing, the almighty Prince Vegeta." Now, while Chris Sabat, he says that line beautifully, he does a terrific job performing this and delivering that line, I must give a point to the Japanese regarding, the line just being better. It's just a better written, line, in my opinion. It just goes straight to the point. It's because you're a fake, and I'm the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta-sama. I think the Vegeta-sama really sells me, because he just declares himself, Master Sama. That is awesome. And I don't think the English dub could have topped it. I mean, the almighty Prince Vegeta, I mean, we've heard that before, but Vegeta-sama is just... I don't know, I'm very impressed by the Japanese line. And, even setting up the line itself, it's because you're a fake. Japanese Vegeta, he just says, it's because you're a fake. That's it. And then he talks about himself, because he wants to talk about himself in this moment. He doesn't care about Goku Black, so he's like, it's because you're a fake. He doesn't address any more time to it. While in the English, he addresses more time to what Goku Black is. You're an interloper, a Saiyan imposter. That's just not needed, Vegeta's talking about himself in this case. He's very selfish and egotistical and prideful of the Saiyan race and him and himself, so why would the English dub spend more time talking about Goku Black rather than himself? Because this is Vegeta's moment. This is not talking about how shit Goku Black is, it's talking about how Vegeta is so awesome in this moment. So I like how the Japanese, it just gets straight to the point, it answers Goku Black's question, and then it just gets to Vegeta gloating. So I just like how the Japanese, it just kept it short and snappy. It's because you're a fake, and I'm the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta-sama, that's why. And that has basically been the scene, and then Vegeta just, screams and powers up, and that's essentially the end of the episode. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So what do you guys think about Dragon Ball Super English Dub episode 63? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And of course, as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.